First, Tiddalick drank all of the water. No, all the animals had no water. All the animals had a meeting. Then a wombat burst in. Why don't we try and make Tiddalick laugh? So everyone tried to make Tiddalick laugh, but no one was able to make Tiddalick laugh. And the eel, who was late for the meeting, so the eel made Tiddalick laugh. All the water went bursting out. A long time ago, Tiddalick drank all the water on land. All the animals had a meeting. The eel did not in himself. Then Tiddalick laughed. Then all the water was on land. Small he stayed in the bushes, and the animals lived happily ever after. On Monday, Miss Thomas read us a story. It was called Tiddalick, the frog who caused the flood. I am going to tell you about it. Well, one day Tiddalick drank all the pond water. He said, "Where is some water?" He found some water and drank it. Next, the other animals called a meeting. They talked about it, so the wombat said in a loud voice that they had to make him laugh, then the water will come out. First went the kangaroo. He told stories, but Tiddalick didn't laugh. Last went eel, who was late. It did a dance, then it made itself into a knot. Then inside Tiddalick's tummy it went rumble, rumble. Then all of the water went out, and the animals went back to their places, and Tiddalick went in again. But Tiddalick wasn't happy. The end. On the 20th of August 2007, Miss Thomas read a story called Tiddalick. Tiddalick drank all of the water. It meant that all of the other animals didn't get any water. At the end, Tiddalick laughed, and all of the water came out of his mouth.
A long time ago there was a frog called Tiddalick. He was a very big frog. He was a big drinker. In fact, he drank more than his size. He drank so much he was fat. He drank all the lakes, he drank all the rivers, and he got so fat that he couldn't move. All the other animals couldn't find any water to drink. If they didn't find any water, they would die of thirst. So they decided they didn't have any ideas. They decided that they would make him laugh, and the water would burst out of him. All the animals tried to make him laugh, but they couldn't. Then finally the eel made him laugh. Hooray for the eel. In the cross country I came 10th, my friend Tom came 9th. He beat me. Room 18 had to wait to get their turn. Tiddalick drank the water, and the other animals were thirsty.
They did make Tiddalick laugh, so they can get the water back.
On Monday, Miss Thomas told us about Tiddalick. I will tell you about Tiddalick, the story. Tiddalick was looking for some water. The other animals called a meeting because Tiddalick drank all the water. Otherwise, the other animals would die, but the other animals did not die.
One day, Tiddalick was hot and thirsty, and he drank all of the water. Soon there was nothing left for the other animals. Soon a wise wombat spoke up. He said, "We will make Tiddalick laugh." They all started trying, but Tiddalick would not laugh. Then a eel came that was late to the meeting. The eel started to try, and Tiddalick laughed so hard that all the water blew all the animals so fast. Then everyone had water to drink. And Tiddalick was really, really sad and really, 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 really mad and mostly really angry. Now everyone was really happy now. Well, except Tiddalick, of course.
Go. There was a frog. It went to the lake and drank all that water, and there was no more water for the other animals. All of the animals had a big meeting. The animals were thinking to get all the water out of him, and the animals had an idea. The animals had to make him laugh so much all the water would come out of his mouth, and the eel made him laugh so much, and all the water came out. Once upon a time there was a frog called Tiddalick, and he drank up all the water. The animals had a meeting. They said we should make him laugh a lot, and the water came out, and Tiddalick got all the water out. All the water came out, and he was very tiny, and he got all the water out the end. There was a frog called Tiddalick that drank all the water in Australia. Then the animals had a meeting. These are all the animals: the koala, kangaroo, kookaburra, and more. The kookaburra did some old silly stories, and after a long time the eel came and made Tiddalick laugh. Stop. On Monday, Miss Thomas read Tiddalick to us. This is how it goes. Tiddalick drank all of the water in the desert, and all of the other animals were very, very thirsty. Then the animals had an idea. Their idea was to get Tiddalick to laugh. Then One of the animals was going to try and make Tiddalick laugh. Kookaburra read a book. He thought it was really funny. He even laughed himself, but it didn't work. Then last came Lizard and showed his frill, but it didn't work. There was one more animal. He was late, but he came, and he made himself in a knot, and he did all kinds of funny things. Then he made him laugh, and it worked. And then all of the water came out, and everyone lived happily ever after. But Tiddalick never came out again. Once upon a time, there was a frog called Tiddalick. He drank all the water in the lakes. It was in Australia. The animals had to make him laugh to get the water out. The kookaburra did funny stories about it. He still didn't laugh. Then came the kangaroo and emu. They were playing leapfrog, but he still didn't laugh. Then Eel was late for the meeting. He tied himself in a knot. Then all the water came out.
On Monday, Miss Thomas read us a story called Tiddalick, and I am going to show you about it. Once long ago in the dreaming, Tiddalick drank all the water, and all of them tried to make him laugh, and it was the eel's turn. He made him laugh.
Tiddalick drank all the water, and he got fat and fat. The animals called a meeting. And the eel was late for the meeting. The eel tied himself in a knot. All the water came out of Tiddalick. All over the place. The end.
Tiddalick drank all of the water, and the animals had a meeting, and one of the animals had a good idea. It was to make him laugh, and they tried. One of the animals did make him laugh. The end.
Tiddalick was a big frog. He drank all of the water until there was no water to drink. So the animals had a meeting. We could make Tiddalick laugh, and the water would come out of him, said the wombat. A flamingo and emu played leapfrog. Emu almost got squashed. Next the bird told funny stories. Next the eel tried. Tiddalick opened his mouth and laughed. The water was back, but Tiddalick was tiny. Tiddalick in the dream world. Tiddalick was a frog who liked to drink all the water. He drank all the water in the pond and the billabong in the unit. Until the last drops of water on the land. He was so fat that he couldn't move. The animals called a meeting. Then an animal called Wombat. I have an idea. Only if we could make Tiddalick laugh. First the bird tried. He thought they were so funny. Second the emu and the kangaroo tried.
They played leapfrog. Emu nearly got squashed. That was funny. Then the eel tried. He did loops and woolly woolly. Tiddalick laughed. A big gush of water came out.
Tiddalick was a big frog. He drank all the water in the land. He got fat. He was a wise and old wombat said we can make him laugh. The eel made him laugh. And the water came out of him.
There once was a very naughty frog called Tiddalick. He drank all the water in the hot island. The other animals were very thirsty. They would die without water. They had a meeting. They thought, and the old wombat had a plan. We can make him laugh and all the water will burst out. Great idea, shouted the other animals, and they set to work. The kookaburra was first. He told funny stories, but he didn't laugh. There were 3 more contestants to show. The last contestant made him laugh by tying himself in a knot, and the water fell out, and he went small again.